In 90 minutes' time, we'll be announcing the winners of this year's 2025 Sustainability Competition in Travel, now known as the Social Entrepreneurs in Travel Competition. Welcome very much to the show. This is completely live. Everything that you're seeing has not been rehearsed, although it has been meticulously planned. Today, we are seeing 10 pitches from two different types of startups. We'll hear a little bit more about that in a moment, but what's happening today is the actual finals. They've been working on their projects for years, sometimes months. They've been getting mentorship and support from our panel of mentors, and they'll be judged today by our jury in this live streamed competition. As this is live streamed, and you might be watching this live on LinkedIn or YouTube or over on travelmassive.com, please do the thing that you do with live and social sharing, like, comment and share, please. If you're using the chat function in our live stream, why don't you say hello and tell us where you're watching from? We'll try and flash your name here somewhere on the bottom of the screen. My name is Kevin O'Shaughnessy. I'm one of the founders of a travel technology company here in Dublin called CityHook. I contribute to the Travel Massive community here in Dublin, and Travel Massive is part of what makes some of the competition we're watching here today so diverse and so international. We're great to have them as one of our partners. If you're watching over on Travel Massive, make sure you leave a little comment on the competition and share a few notes about what you think the winners will be before they're announced. This is only possible with the help and support of sponsors, a jury, an operations lead, the likes of which I've never seen before, Maria Stoyanova, who's making me sound and look good backstage. Thank you, Maria. But one of the main pillars, one of the most important actors in who makes this competition possible is the wonderful and amazing Dr. Professor Claudia Bruzza. I'm going to be very proud to introduce you here on stage in just a moment. Claudia, this is our 5th time doing this. Isn't that amazing? We've done this. I don't know where you get the energy. It's so much work to put in to get this competition together. Fair play.
Hi, Kevin. Thanks for introducing me. Hello, and everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning from wherever you are joining us. This is a really great moment. Kevin, we do this since several years together. So, a warm welcome to all of you, all around the world. So, it's amazing to have the whole community in this digital space with all the people you already mentioned and the platforms and us here in between. So I think today is more about putting people together and celebrating, but it's more about the ideas, about the courageous actions, the shared belief that tourism can be a real force for a positive change. It's not only about winning a prize, but it is about us. And this event brings together the innovators, the creators, the partners, and the supporters you already mentioned, and some more from all over the world, from every corner in the world. And these are all people who turn challenges into opportunities and ideas into real impact. You are the pioneers for change driving this transformation. But before we dive more deep in, I would like to give a huge thank to the entire team of this social entrepreneurs community. Your energy, commitment, passion makes this all possible, and a special thanks out. A special call out, sorry, this is live, to Maria and Kevin, who shaped this experience with so much care. Thanks to you.
Now, Claudia, this
So,
is only a little part of what we're saying. We're kind of at the end of the process here. There's been a huge amount that's happened until today, right?
yeah, yeah, we are looking at that. So, as in the past 6 years, it's incredible to see where we reached. So, maybe some of our finalists thought in the last month that it is impossible to be here today, but it always seems impossible until it's done, like Nelson Mandela said. And yet, this moment here today for our finalists marks not the end, but the start of an exciting journey ahead. So we kicked off like every year at ITB in March, and after you see a little bit the journey we all went through, and after a strong application phase, our jury puts countless hours to identify the most promising teams. And ahead of today's pitch event, all 10 finalists were matched with personal mentors who hopefully provided insights, sorry, guidance, and some fresh thinking. This year was an outstanding year. So it was a record breaker. We had for the first time 196 applications. And we're also seeing some real momentum in the growth track, showing that more and more professional social enterprises are joining our community. We welcomed applications, and yeah, this is a 40% growth. Thanks, Maria. We welcomed applications from new countries like Albania, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Maldives, Israel, and much more. I put only the new countries here on this slide, a truly exciting mix. And yes, we can officially say applications came in from every continent in the world. We are working at the moment on a report, and we will share that with our partners soon. So a heartfelt thank, and please look at all these pictures here. These are all supporters. To everyone, I would like to give a big thank you who contributed as jury, as members, as mentors, as speakers, advisors, and supporters for your time, your expertise, and commitment. Without that, the competition or our platform would not be possible. This year, our competition was supported by the first time new persons like alumni and former winners. Maybe we can go back for a moment, Maria. So we had alumni and former winners here who knew the journey from the other side and contributed their unique perspective. Over the past 2 years, we also have deepened our collaboration with students and academia, including our partnership with Carol Carlson from Boston University and her new book on social entrepreneurship. We will introduce that later on. We were additionally supported by academic research from master theses on female social entrepreneurship and the development of a large language model designed to assess the impact or the potential impact of our applicants. And of course, a big thank you goes to our industry partners, which you can see here. Your support makes this platform really possible and growing year after year. And finally, before we start into the show, I really would like to invite you, wherever you are watching around the globe, stay connected with us, whether you contribute time, budget, knowledge, or simply your voice. Every bit strengthens this community. Together we can move the transformation of tourism forward. Thank you, Kevin.
It's over to me.
Sorry.
We'll see a lot of each other during the course of today's session, Claudia. So I know you'll be back at the end, and I know we'll have a chance to chat then. And I'm looking forward to that. But it's over to me now to keep the show on the road with Maria. We're going to have a quick look at the agenda for the next 90 minutes. Please, we have Hawaii. This is live, folks. We're trying our best to keep everything together. My bad on this one. We skipped the agenda, but I'll go over it at a high level. There are 2 tracks. There are 10 startups overall. Some are earlier than others. The ones that are early, we call them launch. And the ones that are later stage, we call them growth. They're in 2 different categories because a day one emergent entrepreneur or an early stage project can't really compete at the same level as a more established player. So we split them into 2 groups. Both, and this is unique, I think, for this type of competition. It's certainly rare to have mentorship applied during the competition. So finalists get mentorship before they pitch today. And that's on a number of levels, whether it's just looking good on screen today with myself and Maria, or it's deep industry expertise applied to each of them. We'll hear from each of them in order that you see here. We'll see a video pitch and a live jury question will come after that video pitch. So just to get everything right, to get all the "can you hear me now" stuff out of the way, all of the "can you see my screen," we'll have none of that today. The pitches are pre-recorded, but the questions are live. I haven't read them. They're new to me too, so everybody taking part, only the jury and operations really know what's going on behind the scenes to get these, to get the questions in from the jury and to the startup candidates. I can't wait to see the reactions and get the live report in from each of the startup participants. We have after that we have a session. We have a special breakout room for the jury. After we hear from all 5 of the first launch track pitches, the jury will sequester. They'll leave and they'll go and judge the launch track. While, on the other hand, we're looking at the growth track pitches. So we'll watch what's going on the growth track while the jury is out voting on who the winners will be. And right at the end, we'll announce the winners. None of this would be possible without sponsors and the juries and the mentors. We'll hear a little word from some of the headline sponsors towards the end while we're waiting for the final tally of votes. And myself and Claudia will have a separate chat then. That's about it. What we're going to do is have the look at the first project. Now, I will say that we're live, and it's not in the traditional sense of live, where you might have 1 or 2 colleagues joining you from a Zoom call that you're under control about. We're talking to 10 people in wildly different environments from a technical perspective, but also from around the world. You're joining me live from Dublin. Backstage with Maria is somewhere in Bansko in Bulgaria. Claudia, of course, is in Berlin. But we have candidates joining us today from Nepal, Kenya, Botswana, Germany, India, Brazil, and Argentina. It is a truly international community that we've built. And to join us and to be part of this journey and to hear about becoming a partner or to see and keep track of what the project is and what happens next with social entrepreneurs in travel, join us, socialtourismcompetition.com/subscribe. And likewise, follow us on LinkedIn. Lucas and the team are doing great work trying to keep everybody up to date on a technical level. I think, Maria, if we're all good, we're going to line up our first pitch. This is where I vanish for 4 minutes. We'll hear from a project from Nepal, Legends in the Landscape. I'm going to vanish and we'll introduce the sponsors, the promoters of the project for a jury question just after we come back.
Hello everyone, my name is Bimosan and I am one of the founders of Legends in the Landscape. Nuwakot is a beautiful historical district near Nepal's capital. It's home to several architectural structures. As a resident of this town, we have always seen that tourism here is largely observatory and not immersive. And that's largely because the ancient folktales are not well documented. So we see a huge opportunity to enhance this experience by welcoming tourists into which side of folktales and oral histories of this place. Besides this, our goal are both to preserve the culture and generate an income source for the local people. This is how we do. First, we partner the elder storytellers and we pay them to get the oral histories and tales formally documented. Then we take that rich documented history and turn it into fun, engaging interactive quests and puzzles. Rather than the passive lectures by tour guide, history can be an experience. We then train 10 local youth as professional facilitators who will be on our distribution network and they will own the session and the income. The small town we are focused on is Sivapuri and it sees around 80 tourists, local and international, every single weekend. And Nuwakot gets 100 more every month because it's very accessible from the capital city. We are largely B2B focused in year 1 with custom packages for tour operators and guest houses and DTC or subsidized offerings for the individual tourists and local schools. We are starting with $4,000 for saving, which is seed funding, and our financial target is grant plus seed capital for launch. Our goal is to ensure 60% of all revenue flows directly back into local wages and community funds. Now I would like to hand over to Bidata to discuss the impact of the project.
Thank you, Bimojan. So far, we've secured site access from local government office and we formalized partnerships with 3 tour operators and 5 guest houses for direct referrals. Our goal is to create a professional path for 10 youths and to pay them a stable Nepal rupees 8,000 to 10,000 monthly income, with low-income youths from marginalized castes and backgrounds as our target. We also aim to preserve and digitize at least 20 plus oral tales by the end of year 1 and redirect 60% of all revenue directly back into local wages and funds. And very importantly, we also aim to have hosted 300 tourists by the end of year 1. Our team, as of now, consists of myself and Vimochen. Vimochen brings operational experience and a deep community network, especially in the region Nuwakot district, having established 2 previous ventures in collaboration with Bausit, based in Boston, and the European Union. And I bring critical data and economic strategy as a third-year student studying economics and psychology at Swarthmore College in the United States. It's November right now, and our goal is to launch by January 2026. Our first quarter will be dedicated to finalizing the materials and conducting the full training of our 10 youth facilitators. Our second quarter will be launching 2 pilot classrooms. Quarter 3 will be scaling our local partners, and quarter 4 is for measuring traction to pitch for future scaling capital. Our ask today is for seed capital. Our target eventually are grants and seed capital to cover the development of game materials and the full facilitator training. This will help us move beyond the $4,000 personal savings that we initially started with. Thank you so much for listening to us today, and if you have any questions for us, we'll be more than happy to address them.
There we go, gamification of travel experiences. I'm going to call up Biditha Pathak to join me on screen here live for a question from the jury. Biditha, that wasn't a bad pitch. Well done. How are things going since we started?
The mentorship with Elizabeth was amazing, and we've been looking into registering our business formally ever since.
Very good. I'm going to start the timer now. I'm delighted to have you. We have a question from the jury. First time I read it was listening to your pitch, so excuse me for being so rude. It's coming to me live as well, so you haven't had this question yet. I have just read it. And it comes from somebody whose name I've seen again and again. It's Stephanie Henneke. She's part of the Lufthansa City Centre travel agency there in Berlin. We're very, very lucky to have her involved in the project overall, and we love Stephanie. Her question, though, is: how will your customer journey look?
So our target customers, as we've researched again and again, are largely domestic tourists, because we don't get a lot of foreign tourists there. We do get some, but they will be staying in guest houses, and their stay will be operated by tour operators, so we don't have expenses on that area. And we are largely B2B focused on year 1. And so they will be coming into town, and we will be hosting them a day in open air classrooms, and they will be leaving. So it's largely open air classrooms, and their stay will be moderated by the tour operators.
Got you. So discovery is going to come through the tour operator, that they will be basically part of the journey, that the very, very first moment of learning about the projects and taking part as a potential customer, right? So the tour operators are part of that journey. Have you given some thought to what that onboarding flow looks like, how you'll do all of the business development for all of that?
We've talked to about 8 partners so far. We've secured site access from local government, and we've talked to them about marketing about our project when they secure the tourists themselves. And so if they're interested in coming to town and exploring, if they're interested in coming to town and exploring, they'll be informed right at the start, and they'll show interest and come to the town.
Okay, good stuff. Our timer ran out in the background there. We have to be very strict on time. Biditha, I thought you did very well with your question. Well done. I hope to see you later on or near the award ceremony, but I hope it's not the last we hear of the project, and very well done on what you've achieved so far. So fair play. Next up is a project from Vietnam. It's a project called Everywhere. It's by Lam Nguyen and Linh Nguyen. They're not related. I'm fascinated about that. Subject not for today, though. But today we're going to hear about their project in Vietnam. So, Everywhere.
Greetings, everyone. Do you know that today, the most authentic parts of our cities, our street food vendors, family-run eateries, and hidden cultural spaces often exist in what we call the informal economy? It is not only unique in Vietnam, but also a regional patterns like in Philippines and Thailand. They are the real cultural treasures, yet algorithms are making local culture invisible, and the result? Over 50% of young people today scroll through endless recommendations but still feel disconnected from their own cities. And many even travel abroad to find authenticity, while what makes us right here is at home. So we believe tourism can start at home. And when we rediscover our own culture, we will rediscover who we are.
That's why we created Everywhere, a gamified cultural exploration app that turns your city into a playable world. Users will become characters, and the streets become the quest. Cultural sites, heritage space, or small local shops become missions to unlock an experience. We also design interactive quests across multiple cultural spaces through cuisine quests, heritage trails, art and cultural hubs, and also community inclusion routes. Users don't just visit places; they learn, interact, and emotionally connect with the stories behind them. And with AI journey personalization, Everywhere tailors experience to each user interests and preferences, similar to a TikTok smart recommendation layer, but just for you and based on local values rather than the mainstream and popular destinations. Our business model is built for impact, skills, and sustainability. First, B2C as our engagement engine, we offer free access to basic quests to build strong user retention. Revenues come from optional premium quests, bundled cultural routes, and also avatar upgrades. Secondly, B2B as our main revenue sources. Local businesses or SMEs, they can pay monthly fees to be featured on the curated routes or choose a revenue share model based on the verified app-driven sales. And we also run city events and also seasonal trails or co-hosted exploration challenge, which will all have us to tie our success directly to the economic success of the SME, creating a true win-win ecosystem. Thirdly, we have an indirect partnership, which we collaborate with local ride-hailing platforms or e-wallets and lifestyle brands for co-branded quests and sponsor campaigns. Most importantly, we have CSR and NGO support, which help us to ensure the inclusion and cultural preservation rather than just commercially exploit.
And our business model is built on a self-reinforcing value loop that grows value for all key stakeholders, laying the solid foundation to create powerful impacts. Our impact will go beyond environmental and economical, but towards educational and inclusive impacts, which aligns with sustainable development goals. First, we will empower underrepresented businesses by bringing direct revenue and digital footprints to them. We are also a powerful informal edutainment tool right at home that solves the local disconnect, creating a generation that's proud and knowledgeable about their own heritage. And last, we also aim towards a sustainable city by promoting low carbon travel and promoting lesser known tourist areas. Our roadmap for scaling is potential with two key stages. We will launch and start in Hanoi, then expand to major cities across Vietnam, and then on second stage, we'll expand into key ASEAN cities with similar cultural potential.
We are Lam and Linh, two young people who believe meaningful tourism can also start from right where you are. Everywhere is our invitation to everyone to rediscover our locality in a joyful way together. Thank you for listening.
There we go. The digital transition for tourism. I'm looking forward to hearing from Lam. How are you doing? How was the mentorship for you? How did it go?
Our mentorship, Natakarn, he's really a source of motivation for us. He's from Thailand and he has a lot of like experience in localities entrepreneurship, and he encouraged us a lot to promote this product, to promote more like culture and education values to tourism. So yeah, it means a
Super.
lot for
Look, it's something unique about us, and we'll give a little call out to some of the other mentors as well as we go along. Are you ready? Will we start the timer? So we're very strict on time. You'll hear me raise my hand if we're in trouble. But what we'll do is we'll have a question. It's from our jury, just for you guys, from Pollyanna d'Oliveira. How will you ensure younger community members stay engaged, given how much of your investment relies on their training?
Yeah, thank you for the answer for your question. So to answer this question, we will be sharing about retention rate strategy, especially for our target customer of Gen Z people. So to keep them stay engaged, we will first have to weekly theme content. For example, we will create special contents like discovering old quarters or hidden temples each week to keep them engaged. But besides that, as we also mentioned, we provide a personalized gamification for them. So just like TikTok, which has the For You page, right? If you are a person that's more into food culture, in our next quest you will be given more food related quests. So our quests are curated locally and just for you. And the third layer that we aim to keep the younger community engaged is through gamifications. So we took inspirations from apps like Duolingo or TikTok. It would not just be answering and playing the quest, but also hitting daily streaks to keep them engaged like on a daily basis, and also competing with the leadership boards with their friends. So these are several strategies that we think are suitable to keep our target customers, the young people, to stay engaged.
You guys are bang on time. It's lovely to have you as part of the competition today. How are you feeling about the outcome?
Yeah, we are trying our best and we are confident about whatever the result is. And good luck, everyone.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing more about this. Digital is a big part of travel's future, so I'm looking forward to seeing how this evolves and hearing from you guys a little bit more down the road. Best of luck with the rest of the competition, Lam and Lynn, and looking forward to seeing who gets picked by the jury later on. We're on to the third entry into the launch track part of the competition. There are 5 total. This will be Project Revitalize. The mentor is Ryan Fuller of ITB, a great supporter of us as well. It's great to have him as part of the team that helps projects grow as well. Sandeep Kadel, Gunjan Gautam from Nepal are Project Revitalize.
Namaste, I'm Gunjan Gautam, co-founder of Project Revitalize. I grew up surrounded by stories of life in my ancestral village, Silinganara, a beautiful place in the hills of Nepal that, like many others, is slowly losing its people and traditions. That's what inspired me to start this journey. With a background in environmental science and community development, and my co-founder Sudeep's experience in rural development, finance, and tourism, we came up together with one shared dream: to bring back life to our villages. Through Project Revitalize, we're turning that dream into action, creating opportunities so people don't have to leave their homes to find hope. This is Silinganara, a beautiful Himalayan village once alive with travelers, trade, and laughter. Today it feels like quiet, and homes stand empty as generations leave for work. Every day, over 1,500 young Nepalis migrate abroad, not out of choice, but lack of opportunity. Our hills are losing their people, their stories, their soul. Project Revitalize begins here, bringing life back to Silinganara through agritourism, community pride, and hope. Project Revitalize turns this crisis into hope. We're helping communities bring life back to rural Nepal through agritourism, blending sustainable farming, traditional homestays, and real cultural connection. Our pilot in Silinganara, overlooking the Himalayas and the Madi River, will feature a net zero agro lodge built in traditional style, powered by clean energy, and serving as a learning hub for farmers and travelers alike. We'll welcome guests into warm village homes, guide them through terraced hills and rivers, and revive farmlands by growing organic crops like Arabica coffee and moringa, connecting people to the land, its beauty, and its purpose. By linking tourism to local agriculture, where we intend to train remaining youth and women's group in coffee and moringa, we create income, dignity, and purpose, reason for youth to stay and thrive in their own communities. Through this model, we empower women's group to lead and own tourism experiences, ensuring income flows directly to the community. We restore farmlands, revive Mughal architecture, and build pride in our heritage. Most importantly, we offer young people a choice to build a future here, not abroad. This is what Silingandara offers you. In the next year, our goal is to complete the project in Silingandara and prove that sustainable, community-driven tourism can reverse migration and revitalize rural Nepal. We are currently seeking catalytic grant of $15,000 to help us take the first vital steps for Project Revitalize. The small but meaningful investment will allow us to conduct foundational feasibility studies, build local capacity, and initiate early on-ground implementation in Silingandara. It will go directly into empowering the village community, training locals to host visitors, cultivating moringa and Arabica coffee, restoring traditional homes for homestays, creating a small cultural hub, project management, and logistics. We remain flexible and open to collaboration in any form that fits your priorities. Our goal is simple: to work hand in hand to bring this project to life and create real impact on the ground. Your support at this stage will help us turn a powerful idea into a living, breathing example of rural revival in Nepal. Thank you.
So the idea of growing more coffee out there is something that immediately caught my attention. Joining us live from the project is Gunjan Gautam, who was the person you just saw pitching there. How are you feeling about the competition so far? Did you get a lot out of Ryan as a mentor?
I'm super excited. Ryan was an excellent mentor and learned a lot. Honest feedback. It was amazing to learn from Ryan.
Lovely stuff. Well, hopefully we might see you at ITB with Ryan later in the year. I'm going to start your clock, Gunjan. We have a question from Moritz Augustinen from Visit Berlin. And the question is, with what and how do you make the communities believe in your project? You made me believe in the project. What do you use to make the communities believe in the project?
Thank you for the question. Believe the youth and the women that already exist in the village are already in tune with the concept of homestays, and they already do agriculture to begin with. And once we train them, once we give them the tools, and make them realize that it's an amazing source of income, they don't have to leave their village anymore, and that's how you convince them to believe in my project. That's what I'd like to say.
You're kind of like you're a bit of a marketplace play. You have a project for bringing tourism in. But you also have to create the place. You have to create the space, that mindset that is shared by that local community. You're kind of selling twice. Do you feel like you're a constant evangelist of new as a result?
I talk to the villagers, and they have nothing to do over there, and they're ready to go for agriculture, go for homestays, and they need that incentive. They need the tools. They need the training, and that's what we're trying to provide. It's the lack of effort from the government or other agencies that they do not have these tools. So we are here just to give them some kind of incentive so they can be independent.
You're bang on time. Gunjan from Project Revitalize. It's great to hear about the project. I hope it's not the last we hear of you, and best of luck with the rest of the competition.
Thank you.
We're next up. This entry number 4 on the launch track. While we're waiting for the screen, oh, there we go. We'll go straight in. This is a project called Retiro from Antonella Morelli from Argentina. And Antonella has been supported by Carol Carlson as a mentor during the development of the project. Let's hear the pitch.
Hello everyone, my name is Antonella. I'm a psychologist and a tour leader working across South America. Over the last years, guiding thousands of travelers, I saw how travel can transform the way we see ourselves, others, and the world. And I also saw something missing, especially for people entering a new stage of life. Today, I'm here presenting Retiro, a travel experience designed for people 50 plus to navigate the transition into retirement with community, joy, and meaning. Retirement brings big life changes. Routines, identity, and daily social connection shift. Yet, there are very few spaces that accompany these transitions with meaning. Existing travel options for older adults are often expensive and focus mostly on comfort or sightseeing. Culturally, aging is still associated with decline instead of possibility. People are entering a new stage, but the world does not offer them a place to explore what that means. Retiro designs curated travel experiences where culture, nature, and guided reflection come together. These are trips created specifically for people 50 plus, with activities intentionally planned to encourage connection, self-discovery, and shared community. Our approach combines psychology and tourism. The idea is to create conditions where meaningful connections and perspective shift can naturally emerge. And we make these experiences accessible, financially and emotionally. Our model is simple and sustainable. Revenue comes primarily from small groups curated journeys, complemented gradually by partnerships with local organizations, travel groups, and community centers. Here you can see on the right our project development over the next years, starting with a pilot trip beginning of next year and slowly increasing both the numbers of travelers and community partnerships. This approach allows us to grow responsibly, test, learn, and redefine with real participants. Our impact goes beyond travel. We aim to foster emotional well-being and reduce isolation in later life, strengthen community bonds among travelers and local, support local economies by collaborating with small providers, and challenge aging stereotypes, showing that later in life can be a time of growth, joy, and discovery. We will measure this impact through community collaborations, emotional well-being, social ties and belongings among employment and local providers. Our goal is to build an experience that creates lasting connection, not just during the trip, but after. I lead this project bringing together my background in psychology and my years of guiding diverse groups across South America, where I have seen firsthand the power of shared experience. I care deeply about the emotional dimension of travel, especially for people entering a new chapters of life. Camila contributes expertise in gerontology and mental health support for older adults. Javier brings operational strategy and expertise designing meaningful travel experiences. And Federico and Mariana contribute strong backgrounds in sustainable tourism, cultural preservation, and community collaboration. Together, we have both the professional foundation and the human motivation to build Retiro thoughtfully and responsibly. In 2026, we will launch our first pilot retreat in Argentina with a small group in collaboration with local partners. Based on participant feedback, we will redefine and structure and expand to additional regions and strengthen our community network. Our long-term goal is to make meaningful travel accessible, inclusive, and transformational for people entering this stage of life. Thank you for the time and the opportunity to be here.
Antonella, it's great to have you joining us today to answer a question from our jury. How was your mentorship as part of this? Did you have any new changes or revelations as part of it?
Yes, of course. I'm so grateful that I had the intense mentorship with Carol. She's very expert and she has a lot of experience in her field. So it was a big pleasure for me to get her insights and share them with me, very customized with my project. So I'm very thankful with her.
See, mentors have a habit of making you look at your project differently, change an opinion, maybe take a shortcut. There's a lot of learning in any kind of startup, so getting an advantage from a mentor is always great. And thanks to Carol and all of our other mentors for being part of this great initiative. Are you ready for your question?
Yes, I am.
So I've just seen it. So the question is, how does Retiro measure the social impact of its retreats, both on participants and the local communities involved? And that comes from our own Claudia Brotzes. So how do you measure impact?
Thank you, Claudia. The idea to measure the impact, we have different fields that we want to measure, and the idea is to do it pre the tours and also after the tours. The idea is to have certain surveys, certain questionnaires before people go into. Same with local providers, so we have better numbers of what they are doing, and we want to do also like circles, like talking circles of how people felt.
I'm not sure who's speaking. Who is this?
During the trips. So the idea is to measure every single tool in a different manner, but mainly with surveys for the local providers as well and the people who is part of the tours.
Where did the idea come from?
The idea? I'm a psychologist and I travel in tourism right now. So I wanted to mix up my both backgrounds and passions because I feel like traveling has a lot of power to change people's lives. And I do care about people going into retirement. And I realized that there is no much offers for them, or every offer, it's very expensive for a specific type of people. So I want to make this project more accessible and affordable for everyone. So that's why I'm combining my two passions into one project.
That's super. Antonella, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with you. How do you think your odds are of a win today?
Sorry, say that again.
What do you think your odds are of winning today?
I don't know. I think I already won. Being here, it's a winning for me. And I'm so happy to share this platform, this opportunity with other great entrepreneurs. So for me, this is already a winning.
I love the energy. Antonella, power to you. Well done on getting this far. And well done on the win to date, if you don't mind me saying. Let's see what happens in the jury voting, and I hope they agree. Looking forward to seeing how the project evolves as well. We're on to our fifth, and this is the last pitch we're going to hear today on our launch track. This is the Zero Trail Climate Action Vehicle. It's from Tariq Vani. He's supported by Angela Neya from, I've forgotten where, excuse me, Maria. We'll check that out later on. But we've got Zero Trail Climate Action Vehicle as our last and fifth pitch in the launch track.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Tariq from the Indian Himalayas, Ladakh region, representing Zero Trail. Jumping into the problem that we are trying to solve here in the Himalayas, the tourism boom is fueling a catastrophic pollution and waste generation crisis in Ladakh. As you can see from the graph, since 2018, the waste generation in Ladakh has been increasing exponentially, turning the pristine deserts and the landscapes into overflowing toxic landfills. It is a rapidly escalating climate, health, and livelihood disaster for the local communities. Therefore, we must act to close this loop. So the solution that we are proposing, our solution is the Zero Trail Climate Action Unit, a scalable, mobile and modular hub. We tackle the issues at the source across Ladakh's remote passes and villages. This unit delivers three things. We do waste recovery, large-scale behavioral changes, and the foundation for a sustainable high-altitude circular economy. Our business model and financial projections over the next year, first of all, let me tell you that we are not a charity model. It is a resilient and a profitable business designed for local ownership. Our revenue model is diversified to mitigate financial risks. We project in the next 1 year, a profit of approximately 47,300 euros derived from eco services and rentals, which are high margin traveler services, and and by selling waste, high-grade segregated plastics to regional aggregators is another revenue stream that we have in the initiative that we are proposing. We are we are an inherently socially driven, because we commit to create 15 direct jobs and 30 indirect jobs in the very first year of our operations, and we are also impacting 3 SDGs directly. In the next 1 year, we are committed to collect 5,000 kilos of waste, achieving 30% waste reduction in 1 year. And we are also going to be engaging more than 5,000 people through community education and through awareness programs. Our strategy is built on co-ownership and legitimacy. We work hand in hand with the local authorities, such as the Ladakh Autonomous Hill Development Council and the Ladakh Tourism Development Authority. So we deliver immediate action and measurable results. Our team is uniquely equipped to execute this task, because I myself come from the Himalayas. I'm a native born Himalayan with an experience of more than 10 years in sustainable tourism, and my colleague is a AI tech builder for high altitude operations. We combine local insights with technical excellence. So what is our ask? We are at a deployment stage. Our version 0.0 will be launched very soon, and we are seeking an investment of $30,000 as a seed investment for our full operations over the next year to acquire equipments that are essential to the task that we are going to carry. And we ask you to join the moment and to fund our pilot, partner for growth, help us achieve our target, and expand our community impact across Ladakh and other Himalayan regions. We are building a zero trail future for the Himalayas. Thank you so much for listening to us today, and have a great day.
Tariq Vani about Zero Trail. Tariq joining us from Nepal. What could go wrong? So from India, I beg your pardon. From India, you're joining us from today. How are you getting on with the competition? How did Angela work out for you as a mentor?
Oh, she's been perfectly amazing, with the kind of experience that she comes from and the country that she's based out of. It has been illuminating in so many ways,
Brilliant.
And inspiring.
Well, it's a fantastic project. You have a place of wonderful natural beauty, a little bit like Ireland, but very different. It's important to keep it clean for everybody. So fair play and power to you for what you're doing. I have a question for you from Anna Metz from Future Travel Summit in Barcelona. Sorry I missed you this year, Anna. We'll see you next year. The question from her is, who are the key partners you'll need to expand Zero Trail in the coming year? And what specific benefits do you offer them that makes collaboration a win?
As you see, our model is, threefold. We are eyeing at the recycling market in India, especially, which is growing at a great pace. So there are different categories of waste that is, coming into the market space. So that is one. And then we have, on-the-go cafe and rental services, which is an area in India, especially in the Himalayas, unexplored yet. So we are looking at people who can help us with gears, who can partner on their CSR projects with us, because we believe climate change is real. Especially in the Himalayas, we are seeing the effects more and more so. I'm looking at travel companies, responsible travel companies, recyclers, and even education partners for that matter.
How do you scale this? What happens when you succeed as one van that we saw
So
there? What happens when we need 200?
Yeah, you can say that we are building India's first AI-based, operating system for recyclable materials. So So we are trying to remove human intervention completely out of the dustbin that we are designing, and which I believe is already being done in the Europe. But we are trying our version in India, and we also have a cloud element which keeps the data real time. So we are also looking at it as a SaaS model. Yeah.
I love it. AI for garbage. I can't wait to see the impact. And of course, we'll all admire the work into the years to come. Power to you, Tariq, for what you do. Looking forward to seeing how you get on in the competition later on. Well done. So that concludes the pitches for our launch track of 190 or so entries into the competition. We've had 5 finalists with mentorship over a period of months that have produced the 5 pitches that you see there. Our jury is going to sequester for just a moment. They'll be back in a moment to watch the next series of pitches and to deliver the results at the end. We'll announce the winner of the launch track at the end of this stream today. That was our launch track winners, our pitches, I should say, from Legends in the Landscape from Nepal, Everywhere in Vietnam, Project Revitalize in Nepal, Retiro, Argentina, and Zero Trail Climate Action Vehicle. A little bit of AI in there, love to hear that. In India, well done to all the participants in the launch track. You're all winners for me because you made it this far. And getting off the ground in anything early stage is a lot of hard work. So power to you for getting this far in the competition. I'm going to take a quick look at who's coming next in the competition. The next section is called the growth track. This is for more established companies. Same criteria, the UN climate development goals are still involved. It's for the growth track, which is those more established companies. We've got 5 companies and startup promoters pitching for us. We've got Abasuba from Kenya, Velout from Germany, Indulge Me from Brazil, Carbon Trace from India, and The Portal from Botswana. And we'll take a look at the first of those pitches now. Abasuba, Eco-Cultural Exploration from Kenya. It's the startup promoter is Sheila Ode Ayambo, and the mentor for this project has been Ewan Clucky. Here is Abasuba.
Hello, my name is Sheila Odiambo, the founder of Abasuba Eco-Cultural Exploration, a community-driven initiative based in Rusinga Island, Kenya. This initiative focuses on addressing this problem, which include loss of Abasuba cultural heritage, youth unemployment, environmental degradation. We've lost our culture through cultural assimilation, modernization, and there's the loss of that indigenous knowledge, language, and tradition. And on youth employment, there has been a lot of migration of youths to the urban setting, and this has led to disconnection from our culture. And there's also a lot of pollution, which is threatening the livelihood of Lake Victoria and the ecosystem. We are offering cultural tourism to preserve our culture, cultural heritage, and support livelihood. Another solution is also organizing cultural tours, homestays, and artisan training for women and youths to curb the issue of unemployment. And also on environmental degradation, we are working on organizing beach cleanups, seed ball dispersal, tree planting initiative to help rehabilitate the degraded lands, and also Lake Victoria ecosystem. This venture is not yet profitable, but steadily growing through community-led tourism. Currently, our income sources include client payments, payment from guides, guided eco tours, and cultural experiences. We also have sales of local craft and workshops, and occasional donation supports for environmental activity like seed balls and trees donation. And we are planning to scale into profitability through expanding our reach through Airbnbs, Booking.com, and social media handles and the websites. On traction, we are the only agricultural tourism venture in the Victoria region that blends the Abasuba heritage, eco-conservation, community empowerment, and we offer authentic community-led experience. Our growth has been organic, with 70% of our clients coming from referrals and partnership. And we've also managed, one of our achievements is being listed as Youth Initiative of the Year 2024 by the Jamhuri Kenya Awards. Currently, our impact, we've had a very tremendous impact for the past 6 months. We've planted more than 25,000 trees within the Rusinga Island. We've also dispersed more than 1 ton of seed balls through donation from Seed Balls Kenya. We've done more than 35 cleanups on cleanups activity within the Victoria, and also we've managed to train 100 youths and women on being eco guides and also on artisans. So this venture has also created so many jobs and income generation, generated activities including tours, homestays, and cultural enterprises. We have 3 main actors, that is myself, who is the founder, Molly Atieno, who is the youth lead, and John, who is the community liaison. So our next call of action is to establish a Basuba Eco-Cultural Village and cultural learning space. For this, we are seeking a funding of 10,000 euros, which will help to build these eco-village facilities. And also, this eco-village facility will act as our learning museums, which will help us preserve our endangered Abasuba culture.
Live from Kenya is Sheila joining us now for a question. Wow. Is that true? You're the only eco operation on the banks of Lake Victoria. Is that true?
Yeah, very much true, Kevin.
Wow. Look, I hope your idea isn't copied, but that the spirit of it gets copied and eco-tourism spreads like wildfire in the region. So power to you. I do have a question for you today, Sheila, if you're ready for it. And it comes from Julianne from Elshark Rice, the Elshark travel company there. Did you face, start the timer here, did you face any obstacles with regards to involving local communities so far, and how are you overcoming them?
Yeah, so I've faced so many challenges, especially because I want to preserve the endangered culture, which includes the language. So one of the things that I'm really facing is challenges the language, where not so many people know the Abasuba language. So I'm consulting a lot of people, even the elders in the community who still understand this language, to create a digital platform where they can come and teach the community about these things. So the challenge I'm facing is that diversity between the elderly and now the youth. That is one of the major challenges.
There's a great cultural transfer when something like that happens, right?
Yeah.
Between the young and the old. What are your plans for the future? How do you make this grow faster?
Yeah, to make this grow faster, as I mentioned on the pitch, I want to establish an eco village. Like in Kenya, the known eco village is the Maasai village, where when you come to our community, you have the traditional setting, the organic farm, the cottages, and everything. And for it to scale, for it to be something sustainable. So I'm looking at a future where we can have this eco village where people can and learn about how we used to cook, the organic food, and the homestays, how they were. Yeah. So that is my next step.
Very good.
And also expanding
digital
reach. And expanding our digital reach.
Expanding your digital reach. You have partnerships to
Yeah.
broker as well, and getting a steady stream of awareness and new customers is always very important. Just before we go, how was Ewan as a mentor? Did he teach you anything new?
Yeah, Ewan was so great. Especially, he had a challenge on measuring an impact because the business is a social entrepreneurship. So, to measuring the impact is not always easy. Something which is a community driven. So, it really helped me do that, even with the problem statement, because I had so many things that I was doing, and to just come up with that problem statement was a challenge. but he did so much great, being that he also, with the trips, they're doing so much with the organization.
Sheila, it's lovely for you to join us here without any technical hiccups as well. It's great to get the connection working. Lovely to have you joining us live today on the Social Entrepreneurs in Tourism competition today. This is a live stream. This is a small production. We're doing our best, but you'll see us pulling together all of the flaws and foibles of an international competition like this live and in a live stream capacity. I'm joining you here today from Dublin. We have Claudia, our founder, in Berlin. We have Maria in operations in Bansko in Bulgaria. Where are you joining us from is the question we'd love to see you answer in the chat if you happen to be watching the live stream. Because this is a social live stream, I feel like it's the law of these platforms for me to tell you that you have to like, comment and share. Please send it to a colleague, a friend, somebody that's interested in startups or in social entrepreneurship or in just tourism in general, or somebody that hasn't had their voice represented before and might want it seen on a platform like this in the future. To be part of what we're doing, we'll have a call to action at the end, but make sure that you subscribe to the newsletters and all of the other updates about the programs and setups on socialtourismcompetition.com/subscribe. Lovely little link in the video there on screen, and surely sometime down the road in the comments down below. That was the first pitch we had in our growth track. There's 4 more to go before we announce who the winner of both tracks are. And the next project comes from India. It's called Carbon Trace. And the startup promoter is Ratan Kumar. And we'll join him in just a minute after we hear about his project, which was mentored and supported by Daniel Roquette. Over to Carbon Trace.
Hi, I'm Ratan Kumar, founder and CEO at Carbon Trace. At Carbon Trace, our vision is to make sustainable travel hassle-free and carbon negative. Most travelers and operators lack knowledge of what the environmental impact is resulting from their travel itinerary. Due to this lack of accountability, there is a general lack of action. Due to this, indigenous communities who are doing credit-worthy carbon credit projects are left out of the carbon market value chain due to lack of access. This is why we built Carbon Trace, to not only enable behavioral change in travelers, but also to generate significant climate action funds through community-led climate action projects. We're doing this by automating the carbon footprint emissions on our platform and managing the carbon offsets through a blockchain-supported system, which leads to absolute transparency and traceability of where and how the impact is being created. We have a B2B SaaS model, which is priced at $180 for MSMEs, and for the enterprises, it is charged at $2,400. On the B2C mode, we charge 15% on the carbon offsets that we enable. Apart from this, we also provide customizable APIs to corporates, and we work with project partners such as NABARD and other state tourism boards to enable the net zero journey for the tourism sector. So far, we've been able to cut emissions of almost 250,000 kilograms of carbon dioxide emissions. And we've been able to also conserve 20 lakh liters of water. We are taking up another project, which is almost around 18 crore liters of water conservation. And we continue to, get support from Algorand Blockchain Foundation. And in the initial phase, we got supported by SAP Ariba. And with this, we've been able to generate $300,000 to the indigenous community partners that we work with through tourism-linked revenues. On lines of climate action funds, we've generated $10,000 in climate action funds in the test phase of this product. We basically make it simple for people to understand what the carbon footprint amount is from their itineraries, and on a tap of a button, enable them to choose a certain climate action project, and through a blockchain mechanism, make it transparent and traceable. Every time a traveler does that, they get a green credit certificate where they can see how they are impacting the project, where is it going, and also the resultant impact out of the project. We've impacted almost 7,000 people in Northeast India, and we are now expanding into Nepal and Bhutan. We have 200 plus accommodation partners who have seen almost 30% growth in revenues. while they were only earning from tourism-led business earlier, now they're also earning through carbon credits. We have a travel management system linked with the Carbon Trace API, which enables on one side the measurement and on the other hand the offset. We have a senior team of people with 75 plus years of accumulated experience. We have Dvija Das Chatterjee, who's in the financial management. We have Rituraj Kulkarni, a senior environmentalist, very, very active around the COP, and is also one of the people who has worked with Al Gore in the past and continues to do so even now. Sarfaraz has 17 years of technical expertise, and Jitumani is our lead developer on this product. Our future goal is to onboard 5 anchor clients, raise impact-driven funding, collaborate with governments and tourism boards, and we want to localize the carbon offset mechanism so that wherever the traveler is traveling, they are offsetting their footprint in that geography. So that's the moonshot that we have currently. Thank you so much for supporting this initiative.
Live from India is Ratan Kumar joining us for his question for the jury. How did you find the mentorship with Daniel, Ratan?
It was very, very helpful. Kevin, Daniel, with his expertise, helped us to gauge how we could expand our product and scale geographically. He could identify loopholes in our communication, regards to the technicalities and how to communicate, in a way that community, the impact on the community to whom we are taking this product, understand it, more easily, rather than the technical aspects. So it was very, very helpful to go under the mentorship with Daniel, and I think we are improving a great deal post that.
Lovely. Look, we'll get a question from our jury here for you. And I get a feeling you might have seen a question like this before. Anyway, the question is, how will you ensure the accuracy of carbon measurements and prevent greenwashing while still keeping community-led projects at the center of your model?
Yes, I think that was the agenda with which our product was built in the first place. First of all, the accuracy of the carbon measurement comes from the IPCC guidelines, the ICAO guidelines. There are standards which are available internationally. First of all, our product adheres to that, and going beyond in terms of greenwashing, that's where the whole idea of integrating blockchain technology comes from. Stems from the same issue of lack of trust when it comes to climate action and especially carbon offsets. The blockchain system ensures that whatever the offset says is recorded on a certain blockchain, which is it's not fudgeable. It's there, recorded. People can trace it. It's transparent on the system, and so we were leading with a transparency by the system rather than transparency by reporting kind of mechanism. And I think that's the core of our product.
Clarify the business model for me. Are you kind of targeting every air passenger, every traveler as a platform? So there's an API for, I don't know, Ryanair to plug into, or is it just for other types of verticals?
No, absolutely. So currently we are testing the product with our B2C model, where it is the individuals who are traveling and booking through our systems who are going through this process. This not only validates that the product works, it also generates significant, it has already generated significant climate action funding. Now, going beyond on the B2B side, yes, it is an API which the likes of Ryanair, who have almost in excess of $30 million that they are looking at acquiring carbon credits. So this system basically makes it easy and as well as transparent for them, right?
I love it. I hope it's not the end of your project, or the last that we'll hear of it, let's put it that way. A great initiative, power to you, and let's see how it works out with the jury. Ratan, thank you for joining us live today from India. We'll move on.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Thanks.
Now, let's go for our next project. It's from Germany, Volut, with Theodora Chatsipalidis. Do you know, people massacre my name O'Shaughnessy all the time, and I could have practiced this, but I didn't. Chatsipalidis, excuse me, and Bhupendra Singh, who are going to join us for a question or two in a moment. But the project is Volut from Germany. Let's have a look at the project.
I'm Theo, the CEO and co-founder of Velout, a startup that wants to revolutionize the solo travel industry. Because I'm also a solo traveler for almost a decade now, and we are facing, as million other solo travelers, two major concerns: the loneliness and the safety concerns. Especially as a female and queer solo traveler, you face safety issues and struggles all the time. And at the same time, we're living in the loneliest decade of human history. The World Health Organization is saying that it's as dangerous as smoking 15 cigarettes every single day. So it's not something that is good to have, it's something, and actually, it's the number one predictor of happiness, the quality of human connections. And at the same time, we are living in a climate crisis, as we know. And traveling is responsible and will be responsible for almost 16% in less than 2 years of the global CO2 emissions. So we were thinking which one to go with. And we said, why not try to do both? And that's why we're focusing on your journey, on your personality, and on your safety. My co-founder built algorithm and actually during his PhD that are based on AI and machine learning. And we are backed up by a research center of psychologists analyzing human connections. So it's the best of both worlds. And that's why we created an app that matched you not just randomly by destinations, but going deeper. We are looking in your travel personality and in so many different layers to create real meaningful connections between solo travelers. At the same time, we're partnering up with local communities around the world and personalize the experience for our users to show them a better way and a more sustainable way of traveling. And our revenue model looks like that. We have the B2C part with the subscriptions, the B2B, which is commission based, and in the longer run, we want to monetize the data to gain even more insights. And by approximately 10K active users on our app, we are potentially generating an annual revenue of 300K. We did quite a lot of things. I mean, we are here in the final of this amazing competition, and we also won actually the Digital Female Leader Award in the sector mobility by the Deutsche Bahn. We also co-organize a regenerative travel summit with our partners in Honduras to create more consciousness in the way we travel, and we launch our app this year on iOS and Android. So go ahead and download it. And as we said, we match beyond destination. We match people. We have a human first approach. We have different kind of safety layers in our app to keep the community already safe. We are research backed, as I said, and it's from solo travelers for solo travelers. And this is our partner, our Zentrum Fokus Mensch, Mittelstand Digital, where we already conducted our first research on travel personalities. Now we go deeper and try to measure the impact because we want to connect people and protect the planet. So we want to build technology that goes beyond just bookings. That's why we come up with different kind of measures to measure our impact with the CO2 tracking, with the well-being survey, with a method to match the quality of the matches, to measure the quality of the matches, because we want to reduce social isolation and we want to bring more consciousness in the way we travel. And I'm not doing this by myself. Even though I have a background in social entrepreneurship and finance, I have an amazing co-founder with more than 10 years of experience in AI and software development, a CMO with more than 50 years of product and marketing, and we are backed with amazing travel industry mentors and coaches from the startup ecosystem. And as I said, the app is out, so go ahead, download it, test it, give us feedback, and let's make travel more personal, safe, sustainable, and at the end of the day, way more human than it is right now. Thank you so much.
Great to see mobile technology at the heart of something new. Theodora, I'm going to start with an apology. Could you pronounce for me your second name so we get it on the stream, on the record, the right way, please?
No worries. It's Hatzipavlidis, but definitely call me Theo or Theodora.
The wrong sound to start with. I threw in a C. No wonder. Hatzipavlidis. I love it. Okay. Well, look, thank you so much for taking part of it. Tell me, before we get into the question, I've two for you here, actually. How did you get on with Alina? Or Elena, I beg your pardon. Elena Rees from the
Elena.
Mentor. Yeah.
She was actually amazing because as the startup journey is, you have so many different focus fields, and she really, like with her, we really make a great go-to-market plan for now the upcoming months that we were lacking and missing because we wanted to do everything at once. And she really narrowed it down why it's important to go this way and not the other way. So a big thanks.
Like I see some partnerships and some good traction in everything you're presenting. So really looking forward to seeing how you do in the competition. I'm going to start the timer and hit you with one question, which comes from, again, our very own Claudia Brotze. What do you see as the biggest opportunity for Veloot in the coming year?
Yeah. So in the coming year and in the coming years, actually, we see an explosion in the solo travel market, which is really going crazy. And a lot of people say it's a correlation with the loneliness. So people still want to go out and travel, still want to experience a beautiful world. And at the end, they're doing it by themselves because actually Gen Z, they say 50% they feel lonely, even they have people that they know, but still we are lacking those connections. So it's this huge market opportunity for us. Yeah.
It's good to see. A second question. One quick follow-up. What kind of partnerships are you currently looking for to scale the project further?
Mm-hmm. Like right now, we're looking for more partners that promote sustainable and regenerative
Theodora, I'll stop
actually
you there.
traveling.
Can you just
Because
start that bit over again for me? You dropped out.
yeah. Oh my God, I'm dropping off.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry for that. So we're looking for partners that are promoting sustainable again.
No, do it again.
Sustainable and regenerative.
We'll get there. I'll tell you what. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. We'll be fine. I'll get to the second question again. But you're looking for partners that will help you, and that's when you dropped out. You're looking for partners that will help you do what?
Sustainable and regenerative travel options. So they're providing local communities around the world. So for example, we have one in Latin America, in Bali, and we are wanting way more in Europe. We're also having in Greece, Spain. So people that are promoting sustainable travel options, because we don't want to put just booking. And so we want like more to promote sustainable traveling. And this we can only do with partners that are aligning our values. So we're looking for that.
One quick question for me. How do you pick your markets? Which one goes first? Because you have to be everywhere. You have to do everything. Like you said, there's a lot to do. How do you pick your first markets?
Yeah, that's a lot to do. So actually we broke it down to Europe since it's the biggest solo travel market. And we're breaking it down to Gen Z and millennials since we are part of it. And they are the ones who are actually traveling a lot more frequently as solo travelers. So that's why we're going to focus way more now on Europe.
I love it. And why do you think that is? What's the draw to solo travel in Europe being stronger?
Yeah. I mean, so even the travel industry, as we all might know, is still kind of a privilege in a way. The passports, the money that comes from. So yeah, Europe is like the bigger market and has more passports where you can travel more frequently and more often. So that's why in higher incomes. So it's like this balance that we see.
Got it.
Unfortunately.
We're over time. We had some technical difficulties. I think we got all of your points, though, on the record. So hopefully the jury will give you a little bit of tolerance for a dropout here and there. And I expected better internet connection going to Germany. That's just me, though. Look, it's great to have you, Theodora. The next project is from Brazil. Leonardo Braga is the main project leader of Indulge Me. Let's hear from Leonardo.
Hello everyone, I'm Leonardo Braga, CEO of Indulge Me. We gamify tourism and cultural engagement, turning visits into playable journeys. And I want to start with a shared experience. You know, those moments right before an event begins, before the show, the match, the visit to a museum. People are present, open, excited, but nothing is happening yet. The waiting. These are untapped cultural moments. Indulge Me activates cultural spaces such as museums, parks, festivals, districts, and natural sites, turning them into interactive, on-site adventures played on the visitor's own phone. The visitors, they explore through storytelling checkpoints, observation and computer vision challenges, trivia and discovery quests, symbolic digital badges and achievements. No hardware, just participation and immersion. Here is our secret sauce, our no-code game developer app. It allows local guides, museum educators, event organizers, and cultural leaders to create and update experiences themselves. This ensures that cultural identity remains authentic because stories are told by the people who live them. We operate B2B and B2G as in government. We do not charge tourists. We license in-app gamified experiences for a single event for a year, or we can deliver a white label gamified solution. We begin in the Cerrado, the Brazilian savannah, with the City of Stones gamified experience in partnership with Nomads Adventures, connecting geology, indigenous narratives, and local pride. Now, with COP30 here in Brazil, in Belém, we are also co-creating 30 gamified cultural and environmental experiences. One of them was at Expo Feira in Macapá, the capital of the state of Amapá, where visitors explore the wonders of the city through play. We validated our solution with 12,000 students here in Brasilia, and we found a great fit with Gen Z, millennials, and also millennials with kids. When people play, three things happen. They stay longer, they share more on social media, and they support local businesses. We measure the time spent on site, social and group interactions, foot traffic redirection to local commerce, and cultural recall and identity connection, all respecting GDPR. We are now implementing a polygon-based reward system because credit card fees drain small tourism businesses, keeping value circulating within the community. This is regenerative tourism. Our team reflects this mission. I'm Leo Braga. I have more than 20 years of experience in the social service of commerce as an art curator and also an event organizer. Miguel Garcia is our CTO, Game Engine, a no-code platform. Dini Hajarama, she's our mentor. She's a teacher at Virginia Tech. She teaches tourism. And Marcio Favila, he's our senior mentor. He's also a former United Nations World Tourism Organization executive director. We have a team guided by culture, built for collaboration, and deeply committed to community engagement. We're now moving to the Qatar Development Bank Accelerator Program, and we are also implementing those digital assets with tokenization and NFTs in Q1 2026. We're not raising funds at the moment, but we're inviting partnerships with museums, tourism boards, festival organizers. Thank you. Obrigado.
Now, Leonardo, look, as a geek, I need to know that the connection to the internet in Brazil is working better than it was to Germany. Are you coming through all right? Can you hear me?
Oh, hi, Kevin. You can call me Leo. So I got I got inspired by several games, right, and storytelling. Let me tell you that Ola, my mentor, she helped me a lot. She's a larger-than-life person, and she reminded me that storytelling is part of my journey, and it was fundamental in changing my approach to pitch. So, Ola, big thank you.
I have a question for you. This comes from Audrey in Amadeus. The question is, how does Indulge Me ensure that local communities benefit economically from these gamified experiences?
Great question. Thank you very much. So, for example, Isabela Formiga, she's an art curator and from the Museu de Arte de Brasília Art Museum. And she was hired to create a game with us because we got a client, a B2B client, a B2G client, right? Voar Association, they help us promote gamified experiences. Not only that, but also workshops because we need content creators, right? Lucas, he's a guide in the Cerrado here in the Brazilian savannah. So he owns Nomads Adventures. He is also a partner. And when we hire them, they are also working with the community, and he looks for local restaurants, coffee shops who can also benefit from this. And now introducing tokenization, we hope to implement this in Q1 by achieving those proof of rewards, right? And I can a whole bunch of other partners such as Game Jam Plus, the gaming startup Retreat, who was also our partner in Madeira Island.
Was it, and I hope you have a short answer for this, Leo, I hope it's a fair question, but did you need to build tokenization? Did you need to build that cryptographic level, blockchain style element to this? Could we have done it without it?
Well, I have to thank my partner Miguel for that, and also Maria and Claudia for being so patient with me. But you see, Web3 is all about ownership. On Web2, people were products, right? We're now in a different phases. So implementing tokenization will add up to our solution. It's not fundamental, but it gives us, the sense of ownership by helping out the community to get to know themselves better. And imagine NFTs. Usually when you get a token, when you get a reward, for example, system such as leaderboard, or, right now you can get a medal and add it to your trophy room. This is happening. But owning an NFT, you can also share with other people.
I have to stop
that.
you there. I'm sorry, we're over time, Leo. I was hoping there was a short answer to that. It's such a fascinating topic, but I have to stick to the time limit. It's unfair if we go over time there, but it's lovely to hear from you today and see so much energy behind the tech, to see so much energy behind the social aspects of it. And I love to see a mobile project too, Leo Braga from Brazil. Thank you for joining us live to talk about your program today. Thank you so much. That's 4 out of 5. That's 9 out of 10. We're down to the very last pitch. I don't know what I'm going to do for a year waiting for the next competition if we're down to one last pitch. It is from Botswana. Maloke Pitse has the portal destination Story Living, and we're going to hear his pitch next.
100,000 years ago. That's how far back UNESCO is dating back the Zodilo Hills, a UNESCO World Heritage Site in itself, which was home to over 4,500 rock art paintings. Today, 100,000 years later, that legacy is under threat, not only from natural erosion, but from a new urgent danger and climate change, with new research from the rock art preservation estimating that out of the original 4,500 paintings, 38% have been permanently lost, with 60% attributed to climate-related deterioration. And the scale of the problem is global. All across the world, climate impact is accelerating the loss of our heritage sites. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a community and communities globally at the brink of losing resources that have defined who they are for generations, and the very same resources which they have relied on as a livelihood and an economic activity. Our social startup, The Portal, we see ourselves as the legacy guards, working in collaboration with the community to carry and protect this legacy forward using the tools of our time. We believe that the first people preserved and stored using the technology and the tools of that time, and we believe that it's within our responsibility to use the technology and modern age tools to protect and preserve for the next generations. On the left there is one of the fading rock art panels in Zodilo, and then in the middle is how we're digitizing that asset, and in the far right is how we're bringing it back to life using our drone light shows. Our solution also goes beyond the digitization itself to using the assets as a form of a tourism experience. So by choreographing the digital assets in a drone light show format, we have created a new economic engine that goes beyond the daytime visitation window to actually creating an after dark nighttime economy around this asset. So we're sort of merging preservation and sustainable tourism, which is ultimately creating a sustainable economy. We earn from our drone light show ticketing, averaging around $2,000 to $4,000 per event cycle. We have built momentum this year, closing a $10,000 equity-free funding to expand our human resources and scale our community training. We've also launched community-run enterprises built around our drone light shows, including catering, campsite operation, and logistics. That's how we empower it beyond just the preservation of the assets. Many of our competitors nowadays really use digitization and storage, but we're taking it a step further to involve the community in the process, while also having them have control over the process and co-own the process and the economic benefits generated from that. In short, while others store and digitize, we preserve, empower, generate value, both digitally and economically. Our impact goes beyond the money, but we're empowering the community as well in the digital world order and how to operate the drones, how to do digital modeling, animation, and cloud-based storage. We're also measuring our impact through the Community Skills Index, Economic Activity Index, and Heritage Preservation metrics. Our impact is also anchored around the 3 Sustainable Development Goals. We have quite a diverse team with a combined 10-year experience across legal, operations, business development, and community development. Ladies and gentlemen, the scale of the problem we are solving is huge. It's global. Therefore, we are here seeking $200,000 investment in seed capital to scale our impact globally and be able to also reach other sites, such as in Ukraine, where there's been a destruction of heritage sites, and we're seeing how we can bring them back to life using our model. Thank you so much.
Joining me live from Botswana is Maloke Pitse. How are you this afternoon? How are you getting on?
Hi, Kevin. I'm well. Good.
I love to see the tech that you're building. Drones in Botswana to tell stories. My God, you have me hooked. You have me hooked. I love the idea. Sadly, I'm not in the jury this year, but you have me absolutely hooked. I have a question for you from the Japan Travel Awards member, Alai Hongo. How does the portal work with local communities to ensure sustainable growth and mutual support?
Yeah, well, thanks so much, Kevin. The first thing that we do really is to we realize the problem that there's a risk of losing the assets that they own, and so the first thing that we do is we share the technology. We impart them with the skills to use the technology so that they're not marginalized twice from a new digital world order. How are they able to participate in that? So that's the first thing. The second thing is that we also then empower them to commercialize the assets, sustainably as well, so that it can also bring them income in the community. So we kind of like sort of operating in that middle ground between sustainability and economic activity as well. Yeah.
It's a challenge with every amazing project like this. Do you find that you have too many jobs to do? You've got an amazing project there. You've got an amazing experience for those who make it to you. How do you work your channel? How do you make sure people know about you and learn about you and get to you?
Well, the first thing that we do is social media. It's how we're able to expand our footprint even globally. So we're really working on expanding our presence online through social media platforms, sharing the work that we do, and also being part of platforms such as this to share our stories with partners that are involved in this kind of competition. So that's how we're sort of amplifying our story globally. But at the community level as well, we are working with the community, directly going to the communities and hearing about these problems and engaging with them directly in person. Yeah. So it's a lot of work, and there's a whole lot of team people behind it. So it really is a lot of work. But yeah.
Yeah. Maloke, you're bang on time, and I'm so upset. You're the last participant I get to talk to today. I'm so upset.
Sorry.
But it's a great way to end our competition pitches today. Thank you so much for taking part. Thank you for joining us live from Botswana. It's great to see a project like that come to be. A little bit of tech, a little bit of culture, and a lot of travel. It's amazing. What's happening next is we've seen 10 pitches. We're bang on time from the looks of things. We've seen 10 pitches. The jury is now recused. They're off in their own back channel. They're in their own green room discussing and chatting about who should be the winners of the launch track early stage startups, legends in the landscape everywhere, project Revitalize Retiro, Zero Trail Climate Action. We have the growth track pitches, which we just heard, the portal from Botswana with Maloke speaking. We had Avasuba, Volute, Indulge Me, and CarbonTrace.in from India. I'm absolutely delighted to. While all that's going on, we needed something to do. And I insisted we have a little bit of a chat with some of our sponsors because it takes a huge amount of energy to put this together. I'm just here to glue the whole thing together live on stream. But one of the most important aspects of our project is the sponsors that make the prizes and make the support and make the other parts of mentorship absolutely vital. Could I please welcome on screen Audrey Morgian, faut que je le prononce mieux, Audrey, Stephanie Henneke, and Ryan Fuller. Ryan, you know, it's funny, the last time I met you was on a physical stage for this competition as well. We've never met properly. We think we're only involved in this type of show business together, but it's lovely to get you guys here to join us. And one of the questions that I hope you don't mind me asking you is, and we'll start with yourself, Audrey, if you don't mind. What led you, apart from the energy involved in Claudia, and she's a hard woman to say no to, but what led you to support this project? Now, it's one of those moments. We have a rule on this transmission, on this broadcast, that nobody can say, "Can you hear me?" It's for the simple reason that we don't need to. But in this case, Audrey, we can't hear you, and we're a little bit stuck. So what we'll do is I'll skip yourself for the question while you're sorting out the mute button and what needs to be fed into our permissions for what not. We'll have a chat with Stephanie Henneke, a long-time supporter of the competition and maybe a good person to answer that same question, Stephanie, if you don't mind. What inspired you to put your energy behind this, and what does it mean to your company and your organization to be part of it?
Sure. Hi, Kevin. I hope you hear me. You can hear me.
You're fine. You don't need. Thank you.
Okay. First of all, we are super excited to have been supporting the Social Entrepreneurship Initiative for, as you said, 2 years now, and be part of this community. And since LCC Lufthansa City Center, as the world's, by the way, largest independent travel agency franchise network, with almost 15 years of sustainability being part of our work, which is constantly evolving, of course, we are thrilled to add also the social entrepreneurship in our work. We see that social sustainability in the tourism sector still has a lot of room for improvement across many countries and regions. And we also think that companies that have integrated social sustainability in their core business are still rather underrepresented in our industry sector. And on the other hand, the tourism industry has so much potential to make a real difference by creating business models that focus on social and environmental sustainability. So it's about local communities, as we have heard already, and protecting natural resources that can make mindful tourism a huge and lasting impact.
It's a very altruistic, very necessary, I think, sorry, just to be clear, it's a very necessary thing to support. We have to give our voice to this. We have to give our support to this. And sometimes we have to do it explicitly. And I get that there's a huge drive and an attraction to it, but the question, I suppose, to maybe turn some of your answer into, if you don't mind, is what do you get back from it? You put so much energy in. What comes back? What does your organization gain from this?
I mean, we have seen so many fascinating startups also today, and we think that incorporating these startups, or at least at the beginning, their structures and their concept into our core business can help us and the entire industry to grow and to develop a real impact, a real sustainable impact to the entire industry. So we have seen that sustainable startups really can earn money. They can really have an economical impact. In order to bring all this together, the old industry and the new innovative startups, I think there's a lot of potential to create a real sustainable industry, a real sustainable impact. This is a very
I suppose
Yeah.
if you could think for yourself along the same lines from an ITB perspective, when we were a $0 startup, before we were even a startup, before we were even a project properly, we were at ITB doing research, talking to partners. I know it's the place for startups as well as for large tour operators, large travel industry players. It is where the world's travel business meets once a year in Berlin. It's like it's hallowed ground for me. It's an important place to be. But this is more than just business development for you, Ryan. You're not just supporting future mega corporations that are today just startups. What do you get out of it for ITB? Tell me.
Hi, Kevin. Yeah, it's great to see you again. The last time was in March this year, so it's great to see you. Yeah, so even though I came into the CSR role at ITB in 2023, being a part of SET has already been incredibly motivating, personally for myself and us at ITB Berlin. And, it shows how powerful tourism can be when it's community driven, and how small local ideas can create a real impact when they're rooted in genuine needs and ideas. So for ITV, it's encouraged us to look more closely at what's happening on the ground. It's influenced the topics we bring onto our stages, and it's helped us understand what responsible tourism really looks like in practice and not just in theory. And on a personal level, having the opportunity and being involved as a mentor across different teams now has honestly been a highlight. It's inspiring to see the passion and creativity these entrepreneurs bring. And yeah, congratulations again to everyone from my side and from ITV side for today. Yeah, this partnership is more than just a program. Yeah, it's part of the future we want to help us build for the tourism industry. So I hope to see everyone again at ITB next year in March.
And look, I hope that part of what we do here is to give others permission to identify the other sustainable goals put down by the UNWTO as part of their core metrics for sustainability and economic growth. It's an important part for all tourism. We don't own it. I suppose we sponsor it. We contribute what we can to it, but I hope it inspires others. Audrey, we'll come back for another round the table for what the future looks like. I'll let Stephanie and Ryan have a little think about what that means. Audrey, it sounds like your microphone is working. You don't have to say, "Can you hear me now?" We've got enough signal coming through here to say that things are green. Thank you for all you do. Amadeus is, of course, the powerhouse of travel technology. It means that we can find and book and enable all of the travel technology rails that we depend on every day. This is such a different type of initiative for you. What leads Amadeus to social entrepreneurship? Where's the North Star on that for you?
Well, actually, I lead impact entrepreneurship at Amadeus, so it's not very different from my day-to-day. We actually have programs for impact entrepreneurs. One of it is called Travel for Impact. It's one of the initiatives we launched 5 years ago to support impact entrepreneurs with training and with as well a network. So when we partner on the social entrepreneurship competition, we also find new profiles that we can support through either Travel for Impact or other initiatives. So that's basically for us a mean to get access to more profiles that can help innovation.
It's an innovation play for you. It gives diversity
Exactly.
of thought. It gives diversity of it gives you a different picture of the economic space around just aircraft and just tech. What comes back to you from it? Speaking from an Amadeus perspective and from a personal perspective, maybe, what are the benefits? How do you put a KPI on something like this?
Well, I mean, we like to see it as a way as well to learn, as what Ryan was saying, so we can learn of what's going out in the industry, because as you say, we are a B2B player, so we can know what's on the ground, and as well we can develop new strategies. Then we measure the impact of our program. We try to see like how much we help as well impact entrepreneurs develop. So it's about collaborating as an industry. Making a force for good together through collaboration. So this is basically the KPI we are tracking. How much impact we can have by helping others amplifying the impact as well.
I love it. What's your vision for the future of social entrepreneurship, especially from a tourism perspective? Where do you see the big picture down the road?
Well, the good thing is that, as we could see today, there are different ways to innovate. So I think the vision is to still finding new ways, adapting to new trends, and learn how we can keep innovating with either like the latest tech trends, but not necessarily. Actually, we can have as well a lot of community-based tourism innovation to launch. So it will grow. It will grow because there is a need, and it can grow on the innovation side, on the tech side, but as well, as I say, more on the grassroots type of projects. So I'm very confident it will keep growing. Like I could see today a lot of great ideas that were innovative I never heard of. So I know it's just the beginning.
One of the things that blew my mind, and Ryan, you were there with us for the conversations last March, was the idea of tourism for climbing a mountain as a, this is standard hiking, and there are different types of mountain. You've got, K2 and Everest, of course, at kind of the top of the list, and a small local hill like, say, in Dublin, Ticknock, at the other end. But if you don't have two walking legs and you need to access it, and you still want to enjoy the experience of it, Apennini for All was a standout project of how grassroots can change the tourism landscape there. A tiny project by every measure, tiny, but making a huge impact. And I nearly cried the day the founder told me the story of climbing a mountain, guiding somebody with different abilities. In this case, the gentleman he was guiding had no vision. And he said he could still get a lot out of the view, so to speak. So between the experience of being up the mountain with everybody else, the hike itself, the walk, and so on, there was a sensory element there that was not just sight. And there was something that showed that there's another perspective on travel that we might have missed, and that could change everybody else's perspective if we could think of it in those same terms. Ryan, with that in mind, where do you see the future for social entrepreneurship around the tourism area?
Well, I like to see myself as a glass half full type of person. So growing and growing to the moon, as they say in the crypto space. Keep supporting these initiatives. I see a future where, and as Audrey mentioned, the demand is there. So I see a lot of growth and potential, and we've seen it with SAT for myself personally since 23, the tremendous growth and success that you guys have had. And so where it needs to go is continuing to support, provide a platform, and from our point of view, giving a voice to all these entrepreneurs around the world. And no project too big or too small. Everything should be put on the table for us all to learn and to be a part of. And I guess in that continued sense, we will see big and positive impacts for futures and for years to come, for generations to come.
Not all innovation is big ideas. Some of it can be small ideas too. And some of those small ideas can inspire the largest companies to be part of it. I was going to pass the question over to Stephanie as well about what the future means, but it looks like she's just dropped. So I'm sorry we can't include you there, Stephanie. But if you're ready and able, we'll bring you back on stage for another chat. We're still waiting for the jury to come back. And unfortunately, Audrey and Ryan, you're my filler material while we're waiting for the jury to finish their deliberations. So we'll have a little bit of fun while we're waiting. So behind the scenes in that green room, we have the results of the jury coming together. They're currently working through their own scoring and voting process to find the number 1 and number 2 spot for the Social Entrepreneurs in Tourism Competition 2025. Our fifth iteration of the competition. Very proud to be part of it here. Ryan, is there room for more social entrepreneurship projects seeing the floor in ITB? You can attend as any kind of attendee. You can have the giant stands, you can be on a panel, you can be just an attendee as a trade visitor. There's all kinds of ways of engaging with ITB and the public that you draw, but is there more room for projects like this in ITB Berlin in March?
To answer your question directly, yes, there's lots of room. The key point and key area that needs to be addressed from my point of view and from the ITB's point of view is visibility. To be straightforward with you, from the exhibitors that I speak to from different regions around the world, in our African halls to the Asian, South Pacific, the list goes on. The entrepreneurship is there, the ideas are there, but the visibility is still needed. So that's something we need to work on. That's something that I'm working on from my side, and of course in partnership with SAT. I believe we will get there, one ITB and one event at a time. But it is there for sure.
And it's a lovely start to the year for my conference season, at least. It's when it all kicks off, is usually in March, just after or just around St. Patrick's Day in Ireland. It's a great time to be seeing a little bit of Berlin, and a core memory for me for the last 12 or 13 years at least. Audrey, it's a hopefully not an unfair question to be putting to you, and from a personal perspective at least. What kind of projects? Because I'm already thinking. I've seen 10 great pitches already. I'm thinking, I reckon next year we'll hit 1,000 projects having come through this competition. We're at about between 600 and 800 now this year. I'd say we might hit the 1,000 next year. In the next round of entries, are there projects that you would like to see? Again, on a personal level, if you prefer, is there the kind of project that you're hoping will come out that we might see for the first time as a result of what we do here on the competition? What would you
Well,
like to see?
yeah, I mean, it has already been quite diverse. I was not in, I mean, I assessed personally 20 applications in the jury out of many more. But I think where we can progress as an industry is on accessibility, for example. So traveler with accessibility needs. You mentioned Apennini for all last year. That was actually the jury voting. They are now part of Travel for Impact, so the program I mentioned on the Amadeus side. And I'd like to see more of this project. I know last year they were more selected as well, but I think there is an opportunity as an industry to get there. So yeah, that could be another area we can see next year, especially because social entrepreneurship is many things, and yeah, this year we have more projects on environment. We have as well a project on the social side and so on. But maybe next year we can see a bit more on accessibility.
Well, looking forward to seeing what happens next. And it's great to hear the project going from one step and one strength to another. A last word, Stephanie, if you don't mind. Thank you for joining us back here again. We've probably had some technical difficulties in the meantime. A word for what you'd like to see in the future for the competition.
Yeah, as we have seen that so many new startups have joined this initiative this year. I would love to see more and more startups and concepts and projects coming in, of course, next year and in the future years, of course, so that the initiative will grow more and more. And also that we get more partners on board next to Amadeus, the ITB, and Lufthansa City Centers and all the other partners, so that the community will grow and grow.
I'm looking forward to that, and it's a key message to transition on, if you don't mind me saying. We have built what I think is something amazing from your support, the support of Amadeus, the support of ITB, and our other partners, including Travel Massive, over the years. It puts real meaning behind the award when there's a little financial gesture, but it's so much more than that. It's just what's contributed. It's your time, it's your expertise, it's your patience, and it's an awful lot of your energy. And I hope we can multiply that by getting folks to join this movement of ours, this community, by checking out the website socialtourismcompetition.com, and there's a subscribe link there to find out access to everything that we're doing. So socialtourismcompetition.com/subscribe. Thank you to my panelists, Stephanie Henneke from Lufthansa City Centre, Audrey Morgiard from Amadeus, and Ryan Fuller from ITB Berlin. Thank you for being part of this part of our conversation while we're waiting for the jury to come out. And your departure is signal of something dramatic happening. The news is good, Claudia. News from the green room has reached us. I see my little back channel here going absolutely wild. I see some information filtering through on my side. Are you ready to introduce a few winners to us, Claudia?
Yes, there's white white smoke coming out.
There's white smoke. I love
So
it.
I hope that everyone is happy. So it was, it was really exciting, because if you can look at all the people who are voting and you see the numbers going up and things like that. So I have my favorites, but other people others. So, and then it was a difference between the videos and how the founders also reacted on screen live. So we really had different ideas, and you could see it here in the voting. It was very exciting, and let's go for it.
So my notes here from the back channel are, I will show it on screen and you will read it. Here we go. So here were the two tracks that we had. We had the launch track and the growth track. And the second place in the launch track is Legends in the Landscape. Well done, Bimukan and Bidata.
To Nepal. The prize goes to Nepal, the second one. Yes.
Very good. Bidata, well done. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Did you expect that?
Actually, I want to share something. We decided to apply to this competition very last minute because we were doubting ourselves. Like, we saw past projects and they seemed so cool. So we thought we would never be able to compete. But I would like to encourage future participants, if they're watching, no matter how young you are, like you could be, I'm 20, Bimotion is 18. So no matter how young you are and no matter how nascent or naive your ideas are, just apply.
That's
you don't have to be 42 to change the world. 18 and 20 is old enough. Well done. Well done.
Start early. So how do you feel?
Very happy.
Well done. Well done.
Maria, and you've led us through this past weeks amazingly. Thank you so much.
Very good. Very good. That brings us to our next order of business, Claudia, the second place in the growth track. And the second place winner is Carbon Trace. Well done. Well done, Ratan.
Ratan.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Claudia, Kevin. Thanks a lot.
Ratan, what's the first thing you'll do with this momentum as you take your impact to the next level? What is the first thing where you start?
Well, we close a project with NABARD, which is working with 350 plus homestays in the space of sustainable homestays and regenerative agriculture based carbon credit tokenization. So I think that's in the first line of order, and we're looking forward to that. This recognition and support greatly helps in that direction.
Great. Thank you.
Well done. I know it's not the last we'll hear of you, and power to you. And let's see what the future holds. We're into the first place winners, Claudia. There's two more winners to go. And the first place winner in the launch track will be... Dying to find this out. I'm going crazy here.
It is?
Zero Trail Climate Action Vehicle with Tariq Wani. Well done, Tariq. Well done.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, SET team. I really, want to thank SET for making the right use of technology, making globalization more valuable, and helping people like us in the remote areas who are, even though well educated, but for want of challenges, and I mean because of challenges we're not able to. But this is so enabling. This is so inspiring. I recommend everybody in all parts of the world, in the third world country, to dream, because technology is now here to enable the planet. And thank you to Claudia. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, Tariq. Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
I'm delighted for you guys, and I hope it's not the end of your journey, and that it's only from strength to strength that we hear about your development and news. Let's keep the environment looking fantastic, and thank you for the job you do. One left to go, Claudia. The first place in the growth track. You know the. I don't. I'm going crazy here. First place in the growth track is. I can't wait to find out.
It is the portal.
Wow! Well done. The portal.
The
That
portal.
is so cool, Maloki. Congratulations. Are you as happy about this as I am? Oh, I'm delighted for you. I am absolutely delighted for you. Wow, what a project.
I don't know what to say. I first few weeks have really been bad. Been sick, hospital, and
oh no,
having to having to still soldier on. Sorry.
Oh, wow.
Wow. You made it.
I'm sorry.
You made it, Maloki.
I don't know what to say right now. I'm completely
Hang on,
just
did
at a
you
loss
know
for
that you had won when you were backstage waiting, or did you just think it was in for some applause or something?
No. I was.
You had no
I
idea.
was actually. I didn't know. Because recently everything has just not been going very well, and I also doubted myself going in here. But the people have been helping me, saying, go on, at least just get to the final milestone, and I just was just lucky that I was able to be part of this project, and and how I'm gonna make the most of it from here. But I think from being at the first place, that was not expected, but it certainly does go a step further to amplify the work that we do, and it's making me feel better now. Yeah. But I'm very grateful to
I am so happy for you. I am so happy for you.
Yeah.
The what it means is it recognizes the energy you've put in so far, but also the potential for the future. And
Yeah.
the award comes with that little bit of extra responsibility to see what happens next. We'll all be following you. We'll all be wishing you well. And we'll all want to know what happens next. But you had me at hello. I mean, I'm just delighted. I'm just delighted. Absolutely
Welcome.
delighted.
Great.
Well,
Hope to see you soon.
Claudia, how are we going to top this? We'll have to do it again.
Oh, we have to do it over and over again for the next years. Let's see. So it was an amazing journey today with you. Thank you very much for moderating. Like always, very good experience. And I think we had so interesting applications this year. It was already difficult to find out the 10 finalists, but today I think everyone showed a lot of commitment, a lot of excitement. And as I said before, it was really interesting to look at the pitches, and then when the people came only for short moment, but it was changing the game already in the evaluation when people are live on stage. And it is very exciting also in the background. Everything, I have a lot of tools open to follow everything, and it's the same on your side. So maybe it is like Tariq said before, that we connect the world also with this ceremony.
That's it, exactly. It's such a different competition from what you would see around travel tech, for example. You'll have all of the tier one events. Of course, Animetz's pitch session was just last week. This week, tomorrow, and the day after is the equivalent in Focusrite in, I think it's Florida this year. There's so much happening, but I wonder, is there such a diversity of countries represented as we have at this competition? 65 or so. It's kind of crazy. I'm going to let you talk for a few moments on your own, Claudia, and we'll come back to sign off at the end. We're nearly at time. But what I wanted to do is just call a special attention to the partners that made all of this possible, the mentors and the jury that made the competition worthwhile, gave it the integrity it needs, and gave us the direction that we needed to help pick the right finalists for and the right winners for today. I'm still in shock, so I'm going to sit down for 2 minutes before signing off, and I'll let you have the floor.
Yeah, thank you very much. So my last words are again and again to join. It's an invitation to join and drive the real change. What we did today, bring in your time, your financial support, and your voice, because all together we can amplify the impact of this community. Let's join our passion to build a better and maybe more sustainable tourism industry. As we saw today, a lot of people around the world are joining and needing our, let's say, our support for the first time, but we also get something back if we can integrate it in our, let's say, companies or work together. New corporations can just arise from that, what we are doing here together. So please join us, and here is again the possibility to send us an email and discuss whatever you want to do as a jury member, as a mentor, as a financial supporter, or spread the word. Thanks a lot. And here's our outlook. Kevin, I don't know if you want to come back.
Absolutely. Look, this isn't, we're not done. And I hope we have a long relationship down the road, Claudia, for all kinds of shenanigans with competitions. Again, it is something that I look forward to every year. It's been 5 years now that you've run this. Power to you. But what happens next? So in January, you have a workshop, How to Prepare for ITB Berlin. I love it. And on the 5th of March, we're going to meet at ITB again for a panel discussion, I believe. And in the beginning of 2026, a case study with Brandeis University from Boston. We'll have a little bit of details to come down the road. But there's a lot to follow. How do we keep up? What do we want folks to remember? That's a quite simple one. Call to action. Head over to socialtourismcompetition.com/subscribe. Find us on LinkedIn or your favorite social platform, or drop us a note. Hello, H-A, it's German. Hello at socialpreneurs.berlin. Claudia, thank you so much for making this a great afternoon for at least 10 entrepreneurs today. What's the next thing you would like everybody to do?
I would like that everybody is sharing the feelings, the emotions, the ideas, the feedback on what he or she saw today, felt today. This would be great. We will also send out the badges to the winners that you can show it on your LinkedIn or on your social platforms that you are a winner of the competition. And this is also something that links back to us and share our community. And yeah, the next thing is to prepare for ITB. We meet there all together. And if you want, just take part. Ryan Fuller is sharing some ideas on what is best to prepare for ITB at the 9th of January. Don't miss it. Thanks to Ryan. Thanks to you, Kevin, for this great moderation. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you in 2026.